Now we're going to cover the magazine system on the 88 commission rifle. Now the most common magazine system used at the time, we'll use this Kropatschek or Kropatschek as an example, was the Tubular magazine system. And the French Lebel and everything, they used it, and the Germans used it in the 7184. Basically, it's a tube that runs underneath the barrel up to the end here. They hold like 8 rounds or something. And the way the design worked, there's a switch. There's single shot rifles. Okay, and then you throw the switch, and you had a lifting floor plate, and the guns were loaded into this tube down and through here. You'll see it in my video on shooting the 7184. Much like a pump shotgun's loaded. You load it into the tube underneath. Very similar. This is very popular and used with both black powder cartridges, some of the early smokelesses like the Lebel, and it was a favorite idea. Now, Steyr in 1886 designed this straight pole, and this is the one in 11 millimeters, the black cartridge gun. I don't have a loaded clip, but the idea was the clip went into the gun with the cartridges, and they're rim cartridges, so they're angled one way. And this clip only goes in one way. Goes down, locks in, there's a button down here that catches it. And when the last round was stripped off and chambered, the clip would drop out through the hole. Okay, this eliminated the single shot thing. A lot of countries didn't like the idea of repeating rifles without a magazine cut off, but that was the Austrian design. There were a couple other box type magazines around at the time too in 1885. And of course then this morphed into the magazine system we all know on the 95 rifles. And when they were originally done in 8x50, that's what it looked like. And same deal, dropped out the bottom, more refined version. You know, the Austrians used this through World War I. Now you'll find this Mannlicher style magazine, the Italians adopted it, and Steyr did make a rifle very similar to the 88, the Romanian and Dutch contract guns. And even though it had a rimmed case, it still would go both ways. Now we'll take a closer look at the 88 and how the rimless cartridge kind of was an innovation. Now the Germans, with a rimless cartridge, used this same clip design, but the thing that was unique about this is where the Steyr clips were at an angle and had to be loaded just one way. That's with the finger grooves. So you'd know this is how you inserted it into the rifle. Being rimless, this clip can be loaded either way into the gun. You know, one way or the other, didn't matter. Which was kind of an innovation on their part. And basically, same thing, last round goes out, clip drops out the bottom. And you had the button to eject it. Here we'll take a closer look at an unmodified. This was the original style. Okay? You can tell because it has a button and this latch here. This is where the clip latches. This is the follower. You see a little springs loaded in there, and it's just an arm that goes up. Now we'll go and take a look. I'll try to do this. When it's loaded down into the gun, it comes down, okay, till it latches. See, it's latched in there, and it's tension. And the tension, the magazine, this clip holds the shells. They're stripped off. Now, if you had to go and empty the gun, you press this, the lever come back, and then the spring pressure would clear the clip from the gun. Now, these original ones had the open bottom on there. Now you will see in the different varying modifications, there was a modification made to these original ones where this clip system was used. And a plate would be put on the bottom. But there was a little spring, like a little plunger and a spring. It would be down in there. And you can tell them that when the plate's there, there's like a rivet. There's an extra rivet in there. And what that modification was, they found in trench warfare, dirt and debris would get up in here. So they made covers, and not to be confused with the modification for stripper clips. They still used the Mannlicher style clips. There was a plate, just like the modification for stripper clips, but there was a spring-loaded plunger in there. So when you fired your last round, that clip would still be latched in there, but when you pushed this and moved it back, the plunger would kick out the empty clip like an M1 Garand. Now that's the only modification. See, there's several modifications to this, and that's one of them. And then when we go to where it uses the stripper clips, this trigger guard gets modified a lot more, and we'll cover that in the variation. But these are your original, using the Mannlicher style clips. And that's about it on the magazine.